encouragement and support that you've given us over the last few years. You've always been there for us, and just like yesterday, the publication is 25, and we felt we need to visit key people who were there for us in the past. Yes, I could also say thank you formally to them, and to also get words of advice from them in terms of the way forward and what are the possibilities that exist within the society today. That's why we're here, sir.
Thank you very much. He lacked courage to follow us with temple. We started the news and temple together, and now set up city people during the time of Abacha. It was a risky thing. Kunle Ajibade went to prison. Ojodu was, Omeka dealt with Ojodu. I think Ojodu was locked up for some time. And Bayat Ononuga had to run away. He escaped. So I don't blame him. He was younger than all of them. So the environment was so hot. And was a great journalist. Now set up something very unique. The city people is a soft sell, at the same time provides entertainment, information, and education. If you read city people for the purpose of entertainment, you will get what you want. If you read city people for the purpose of education, you will get what you want. For instance, there are columns for music, there are columns for, but you don't have column for art. There are columns for other areas like that. However, the COVID environment dictates that one should be innovative. So we are going to discuss the environment. The COVID environment and post-COVID environment is going to be less of hard copy journalism. Less hard copy journalism. Again, the generations now and the future generations are more attuned. They are more attuned to information technology. Information technology. And they are not very much attuned to hard copy education, entertainment, and information. Keeping that in mind, I would suggest the organization should begin to explore what other people are doing now. Because you don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can modify city people, keep less copy of the hard copies, expand the information technology world. And it has one great advantage. It has a better reach. And the youths, which constitute, for instance, Nigeria, about 65% of Nigerian population, you have better volume in terms of circulation than relying on hard copy alone. The world is changing, and we also have to change with it. I just introduced somebody to you that is my documentary editor. You begin to wonder, why must I have a documentary editor? Because my activities here are historical, and I am leaving a legacy behind. And I need somebody to help me document those legacies. Or all mortals shall die. All mortals shall die. There is no mortal, no biological specimen that shall not die. But the difference between man and lesser beings is that we should leave a legacy behind. Legacy, legacy, legacy should be our goal. And one way by which you can entrench the legacy of city people is to move with the technology and the environment as it unfolds. These days, I am advising children. Law is not going to be important. I'm a lawyer. Engineering, I'm an engineer. Marketing, forget it. Information technology will take over. You know, you stay to your house now, and you order something and they deliver it at your gate. All you need is cross-marketing, and you need good information technology background. Accounting is going to be useless. Right now, my chartered accountant tells me that they can prepare profit and loss account, balance sheet, income, value-added asset schedule, and cash flow. Just give us data, ledger data, and we'll prepare it for you. So the only job of the accountant is to cross-check. So there will be less need for accountants in the future. There will be less need for lawyers. So there will also be less need for magazines like yours in paper form. So I would suggest that you create a team to look into the future for city people. A team led by an IT-oriented person to look at what is being done by similar organizations in the world and how they are reaching the world at minimum cost. The word is minimum cost, because your cost of circulation was very high. Your loss in terms of circulation must be high. And of course, unsold. In an environment of COVID, for instance, you must have very high unsold. Whereas, if you are deep into IT, you entrench yourself very well to reach your different market segments, then you are able to better assure yourself. So there should be a team in city people that we are going to call them innovation team. The innovation team, led by somebody with an IT background, that will report to the editor and the managing director on a monthly basis. New ideas that can grow the organization into the latter part of the 21st century and beyond. That is all I can say. For instance, in my own museum, even though COVID affected us, but we were able to reach the world. I sent you this morning. In November last year, we won the World Museum Opening Award in the world. We beat museums in Britain, in Germany, in Austria, and so on and so forth. They shortlisted us to 8, and the Yemisi Shyllon Museum won the Apollo Award for 2020. And why? Because we started our museum with less emphasis on physical visitation and create sellable packages, create registration packages, create a lot online that created innovation that does not exist with our 35 other existing museums in Nigeria and in Africa. You must bring your organization closer to the people. And how do you bring it closer to the people? the increasing digitalization of the world, city people must also increasingly digitalize. That is the stupid thing I have to offer. You Google me at all?
I have met you once.
No, did you Google me?
I know a little thing about you.
What do you know about me?
I know you are from Uganda. You are a prince.
That's very unnecessary to your question.
That's what I know about you. Then you work with Nigerites.
That's very unnecessary with your question.
Yes, but those are the things I know about.
Okay. For your information, I work for more than Nigeria. At the age of 37, I was chairman OGTV OGBC. I was the one that built the first state government FM station in Nigeria. I worked between 37 to 39. I was not yet 40. And I built the first state government radio station in Nigeria. Go and ask. And I named it Station of the Moment. I think they are still using it today. I was also the chairman of the board of television. I made OGTV what it is today. And I was not yet 40. So, you need to Google about me to know me. I am a multifaceted human being. I transverse finance. I'm a chartered stockbroker and investment analyst. I transverse engineering. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Engineers. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbroking and Investment. I'm a lawyer of 30 years standing. I am a chartered marketer. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Directors. I can go on and on and on. I have transversed many professions. And I have headed many organizations, both corporate and statutory, from the age of 26. I was made a manager in UAC when Unilever was Unilever at 29. And I became a director of a multinational company at 31. So you need to Google, when you're going to talk to somebody next time, a good journalist, but a global point of view. That is why in marketing, even your supplier is your competitor. Because if your supplier becomes solid enough, he will stop supplying you papers. He will also set up his own business if it's very profitable. Your customer is also your competitor. Because if your customer is buying from you and is making so much profit, and he thinks the profit you are making is 10 times his own, he will change into making what you are doing. Your competitor is not localized, it's internationalized. You should find out what similar organizations are doing to get paid. For instance, online streaming, Ogami, online streaming, tell me if I'm wrong. Online streaming, PayPal mechanisms, all those things are there for you to explore so that you don't depend on localized technology. You create a kind of international platform for yourself and you grow to become an international entity. And you see, I'll tell you one thing. The moment you do what I'm suggesting, you will see that many of you will have to get correspondence in Canada, America, and so on, to feed in something that will appeal to the international market. Once you are digitalized and you are internationalized, you will be getting dollar, euro, and pound sterling. I am patron of an organization in Dallas. This is the kind of idea I gave them. When they started, they had about $25,000. And they made me patron, and we went on Zoom, and I gave them ideas. 3 months later, we generated $75,000. It is there. What people are using their phones every day. They are using their laptop every day. And they are buying things. They are buying information. So that's the kind of thing I have in mind. Don't localize yourself. You need somebody with a widespread background to serve as a kind of think tank in your organization, to take you away from your localized environment into the future. You should be for the future, not the present. Yes, my boss.
I would like to
Cover your doing by search for knowledge. That is my centrality about my life. I want to know what I don't know. This morning I woke up at 2 o'clock to read till 5. I stopped reading at 5 because I knew I have an appointment with you for 2. Otherwise, I will read till about 9 and sleep off till when I feel like. I read a lot. 2, from when I was a kid, I wanted to be a genius. And I set out to acquire knowledge beyond even classroom knowledge. You must read wide. I have delivered lectures in Harvard University, not in engineering, where I trained, not in law, not in finance, not in marketing, not in business administration, but in art. I have represented Nigeria in Dubai. The Dubai government gave me a first-class ticket in 2014 to represent Nigeria. And they put me in the Gujarat hotel for 6 nights. Who am I? Nothing, other than the fact that I stumbled into seeing artwork when I was a student in University of Ibadan in part 2. And I used to read the Yabatek on holidays. I was Ottoman to school. And I'll tell you why we used to do it then. I will be reading something else when they are teaching us. When the exam comes, I have to read what they are teaching us. Usually, one is not prepared when they put this timetable. So I'm always one of those who join them when they want to close the university. So that I will have time to go and read. So my grandfather's house is at Yaba. So I grew up in Yaba. So that was why wherever I was always going to read the Yaba text. Whenever we were on holidays. So I stumbled on student demonstration works of art. And that's how I began to collect. And became from interest to passion, from passion to obsession, and now to glorious obsession. Glorious in the sense that of all the things I have done in my life, of all the things I have read in my life, the one everybody knows me about in the world is art. And I'm not a professional artist. So I read a lot. Don't believe that because you got a degree. What did you read? You should be talking marketing. You should be talking finance. You should be talking anything. And you don't have, these days, you don't even have to go to school to do it. Register online for courses. In my time, in the 80s and the 90s, you had to go to school. You don't have online things. You know, secondly about me is that I multitask a lot. When I was in University of Ibadan, and let me tell you one thing, I don't want to be poor. And I don't want to be a failure. Those are the two things, again, apart from having knowledge. I don't want to be poor, I don't want to be a failure. When I was in University of Ibadan, I was on scholarship. But you know, they don't pay the scholarship. You have to wait for it now. So I took the children of my university professors and lecturers. On Saturdays, I'll go around homes and be teaching them mathematics and physics. And I was making some good money. That's how I started buying Apple and shares. I invested in shares so heavily that made me go and read to pass the 3 qualifying exams in stockbroking and investment. Because I had so much, and I was saying, hey, how this thing is going? How am I going to be depending on other people to take decisions for me? I have to be in control. But one of the things of investment, any investment you do, you must be in control. If you are not in control, forget it. If you have a property in Dubai, you are wasting your time. It's not an investment. If you have a property in London, you are wasting your time. It's not an investment. Unless you go and stay there. Otherwise, The man who is managing the property for you will tell you there's no tenant. Meanwhile, the guy is taking rent. And if you are doing an investment even here in Nigeria, and you are not in control of all the decisions that go and development, you are wasting your time. You have to be self-dependent. So I multitask a lot. So I multitask as an undergraduate, in my teens and my early 20s. I multitask in my postgraduate, in my MBA. I had about 30,000 naira shares by the time I worked for 9 months after my first degree. And I thought that was enough to sell me through 18 months. So I was working, I used to call myself consultant. In the morning, I would rush to the Anglican Grammar School in Ilefe to teach, come back, do my lectures, but it didn't stop me from being the best student in my set. I had a distinction in my MBA. I multitasked. My law degree, I was a director in Nigerite. I was chairman of another board somewhere, and I was an international director. I used to go twice a year for either top management meetings, because we had factories in 30 countries in the world, or training. But I combined this, and I was building depots for Nigeria. I was exporting to Ghana, and I was personally involved. Exporting to Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, I was going by road. But that road was okay then. I was going by road. I drove from here to Cote d'Ivoire. Quote me. I did all this, but it didn't stop me from doing my LLB in the evening in Java, in University of Lagos. I beat both the morning and evening students. I came out with second class upper. In fact, they didn't give me first class because they didn't want, what do I say about time? I have first class. That's why they didn't give me. Now, I went to law school. I multitasked. I had another second class upper. And that's a public exam, not a private one. So all my life, I was in my late 40s when I was sitting for my qualified exam as a stockbroker. And I was sitting with 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. Because at that time, I'm talking about late 90s, early 20s. Stockbroking was very, very lucrative. Everybody wanted to be a stockbroker. Now, 84, nobody wants to be a stockbroker again. So it was a very competitive exam. Fail one, fail everything in our time. And you have to pass 3 levels exam, 4 papers each way. And I was combining it with chairman of Ogun State Investment, member of the board at the federal level, marketing director of Nigerite. I was many other things like that, all in one, and yet I finished law school with second class offer. I beat all the Unilag students that went with me. But you know, I can't go too deep into that because you're not supposed to multitask when you're in law school. So, I am somebody who tries to gather knowledge. I want to know. I want to be in control. I don't want failure. And I don't want to be poor. I hope that answers your question. Yeah?
Are you fulfilled?
What?
Are you fulfilled, sir?
Yes, the word fulfilled, I will answer you in the direction of the fact that I have left a legacy while still alive. My legacy transcends this country. And where my fulfillment comes in, it's not by the quality of the children I have, and I have good quality children. It's not by the quality of the wife I married, because I have good quality wife. It's not by the quality of the houses I built, because I have good quality houses. It's not by virtue of the little cargo I have, because I'm solid in my own small way, but in providing something of selfless nature for the benefit of humanity in general. And that is where my fulfillment is. The day I opened the Yemisi Shyllon Museum, well, you look at the amount of artwork, the market value of the artwork today, and the amount of money I put in is about 6 billion. And I gave it out. I could as well sell the artworks in Art House Contemporary in an auction and make the money. What am I going to do with the money? To have 10 Rolls Royce. After death, what happens to Rolls Royce? To have houses in Dubai, and after you die, what happens to them? But to leave a legacy for your race, your country, and your people, even those you don't know many, many years after you are gone. That is my fulfillment. Apart from that, my level of education is so versatile that it makes me very fulfilled. Ruling house, where the current Alaki of Egbaland hails from. The Alaki of Egbaland and I hails from the same lineage. I'm of the Shobulu and Ogufayo. And there are many, many trees that lead to the top. So, yes, I contested for the Alaki of Egbaland in 2005. But I don't want to say more than that. But I don't want to offend my family. So, just know that I contested, I did what I should do, but I happened to be sick when they called me for interview. I was sick. And they called second time, and I was sick. And of course, somebody was more prepared, more ready, and he got the job. I think I want to keep at that level. Now, your second question as to what?
Politics.
Politics. I am not a political animal. You must know that when all the things I've been talking since morning, can I play politics? I can't make it. I can't make it. I'm too trusting. I'm too blunt. And I'm too sincere. And a man of integrity. If you have those 4 things, forget our politics in Nigeria. But however, I have been useful to Nigeria and my states, and of course Lagos State. Sheye must be aware that I was a member of the transition committee under Tinubu. Sheye is aware that I played some politics under Abacha. Sheye fought too. He fought. Sheye is aware that I was a member of the transition committee of Benga Daniel. Sheye is aware that I was chairman of Ogun State Investment Corporation. I was chairman of Ogun State Tourism Corporation. My board redeveloped Olumoro into what it is today. I am currently, and have been since Jonathan's time, a member of the National Heritage Council and Commission for the Arts at the federal level. But I am not a politician. I cannot play politics. They tried to invite me to, I can't go late night meetings. I'm too serious a human being. Please don't take it as arrogance. I'm not being arrogant. We all have our weaknesses. That's my weakness. I'm too serious a human being to engage in politics. Because in Africa, if it was America or England or anything, yes, people like you and I will evolve. The word is evolve. Will evolve. But good people can't evolve under the Nigerian system. The Nigerian system, constitutionally, has been arranged on quota and federal character. The Nigerian system, constitutionally, has been arranged that the House of Legislature and the House of Assembly must be dominated, not by merit, because if it was by merit, they won't put first living certificate as the entry point, but by where you hail from and what you are. So people like me cannot sit down. You can imagine now, you asked me a question, I told you what I felt. Those are the kind of people I will sit down with that cannot offer me the challenge. The word is I need challenge. I want you to challenge me. No, don't see me as boastful. You're asking me a question. That's why I'm answering. So, politics is not for people like me. Yes.